Like, I feel like I just like popped. Like, I was showing before, but I feel like it was kind of like bloat and like me exaggerating. Okay, so today marks a really exciting point in my pregnancy. It marks the halfway mark. I am 20 weeks as of today. It's something that, as you guys know, this is my 4th pregnancy in 4 years, so it's kind of wild to think that, you know, I feel like we just announced not too long ago, and yet like I'm already halfway there. And technically, I mean, I know the due date is just a guess, but I'm like, technically my past 2 pregnancies, I've gone into labor around like 37, 38 weeks. So I'm like less than halfway there. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go into labor early this time, so, or early again, not at my due date. So just to mark this point in my pregnancy, I wanted to just go over a few things from that I've noticed this far in my pregnancy, maybe that has like set it apart from my past pregnancies, how I'm feeling, what products I've been like utilizing the most, and just kind of an update. So without further ado, my bump, you know what's crazy is I was gonna film this yesterday a day early, and then I was like, you know what, no, I'll film it tomorrow. And yesterday I was like, oh, like my bump's like, you know, still a little bit tiny, I can suck it in and hide it. And then last night I could not sleep, my stomach felt huge. I woke up this morning and I was like, I can't suck in my bump. Like, I feel like I just like popped. Like, I was showing before, but I feel like it was kind of like bloat and like me exaggerating. But this time, like now today, I've just been so like uncomfortable, hence like why I've just been hanging out in like our little rocking chair majority of the time. But yeah, I've just been feeling so big. And what's sad though is that at 20 weeks the baby's only the size of a banana, but I feel like I'm a freaking watermelon, I'm a freaking whale just walking around. According to the app that I use, the baby is about the size of a banana, so the baby is like 10 inches long and 10.5 ounces heavy. Yeah, so that is what the baby is. It's crazy to think this pregnancy has just been so much different, because I feel like before I'd always say like I feel like I can't connect with the baby until I know the baby's gender, and then I'm able to like connect, you know. And this time around I feel like my mindset in my past pregnancies has been kind of like sexist. So I'm like, oh, like a little girl, like I can't wait to like dress you up, and if it's a boy I'm just like, oh, like, you know, it's different. And I feel like this baby, now that I've felt movement, I felt the baby moving around, and I just kind of appreciate, like, you know, like I'm not putting any sexist like feelings, or I don't know, like I haven't put any like, I feel like gender influences a lot more than we're aware of in today's society, and I wasn't aware of like the fact that I was doing it myself. But I feel like this time going into the pregnancy, not finding out the gender at all has just changed like my relationship with the baby. Like, gender isn't, as bad as it sounds, like gender isn't dictating how I feel about this baby. And in the past it has during pregnancy, but I can tell you that like once they're born, like Lena and Eden, Ezzy, they're all the same to me. But during pregnancy I kind of like have like associated like, oh, it's a boy, so I can, you know, bond with him like this while when I feel him move, and when it's a girl I could just bond with her like this and think of this, and I don't know. But that's something that I've noticed this pregnancy. I've been starting to feel a lot more movement throughout the day, and then as soon as like I sit down, like I feel it, and I can tell that like the baby's getting stronger, and it's like super exciting, because I'm just like, ugh, I'm just so excited to meet the baby. I'm so excited to just, I don't know, we're just at such a good point in our family that another addition is just it's literally like the cherry on top. As I said, like last night I could not sleep. The past like few like weeks I've been like fine, but last night was rough. I was tossing and turning all night long. I just couldn't get comfortable. My stomach was just, I know that that's what's in store for me for the rest of my pregnancy, so I'm not even gonna sweat it. But there are a couple things this pregnancy that I've noticed that I have not experienced in my past pregnancies, which is really weird because I was like, I've been pregnant 3 times now, like I know what to expect. Nothing can get thrown at me that I don't know what to do, you know? But I noticed, I think it was last week, I was putting deodorant on. I was like, have my armpits always been that dark? I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't think my armpits have been dark like that. Yeah, so I've noticed, I've heard people talk about like the fact that like their armpits will get darker and stuff like that, and I know it's completely normal, but I never experienced it in my pregnancies with Lena, or my pregnancies with Lena, Eden, Ezzy. Like I never experienced it. So when I saw it this time, I was like, that's weird. I wasn't expecting it, you know? It doesn't bother me because again, I know it's natural, it's whatever, so it doesn't bother me too much yet. Maybe it will further down the line, maybe it'll keep getting darker. I'm not really sure, but I'm not too worried about it right now. I just keep my arms down, put something over if it makes me like insecure or something, but it's completely natural, so I'm not sweating it too much. Stretch marks. I have not, to my knowledge, gotten any stretch marks yet. I mean, it's pretty early in my pregnancy given that, so my stomach isn't that big yet, but I've not gotten stretch marks. In my previous pregnancies, I have gotten stretch marks. People will swear by like using lotion, using all sorts of things to prevent stretch marks, but at the end of the day, I'm just like, it's hereditary. I mean, there's things that people do that make them more prone to getting stretch marks, and then there's people that, you know, like are just lucky. They have good genes and going through pregnancy won't give them stretch marks. My mother didn't get stretch marks. It was something that she always prided herself in, and that I didn't get those genes. I got stretch marks from Lena, Eden, Ezzy. I was super insecure about them at first. I still am here and there, but I've just like grown more comfortable in my body as, like, you know, I've gone through so many pregnancies. I've understood like what my body's capable of, what my body goes through, and I can appreciate my body going through everything it's went through within the past 3-4 years, and the only things that it's bearing now are stretch marks, you know? So, but thus far, I told you guys, I haven't experienced anything too bad. In my last pregnancy with Ezzy, towards the beginning of my 3rd trimester, I started having some severe pelvic pain, and I know my doctor is telling me that it's completely normal and that the pelvis just gets weaker and weaker with every pregnancy, and I was just like, wow, that's great. And here I am getting pregnant back to back to back to back. So I have a weak pelvis. I know that that's going to be something that beats me up pretty soon. I'm kind of just enjoying being able to still like walk and play with like Lena and Eden and just run around, but I know that that's what's in store for me. I think that's the only thing that I'm really like dreading in my pregnancy, like for the rest of my pregnancy. I don't know what else like I don't think there's anything else that I'm like really like nervous about or that I'm like expecting. I just know that in the past my pelvic pain has just progressively gotten worse and worse with each pregnancy, so that is something that I'm preparing for this time. I need to get oh, and my sciatica pain. My sciatica pain always flares up towards the end of my pregnancies, and Pete is my savior. Heating pads, Pete. Heating pads and Pete, that's my savior. Going off of heating pads, I wanted to kind of like do my favorite, my must-haves, what I use for my second half of pregnancy, or like what I've just been using throughout my pregnancy, you know. So just like a whole bunch of products, just a whole bunch of products that I use. They're consistent throughout like all my pregnancies, and there's something that I've used this far and I'm continuing to use. So I wanted to share the kind of prenatals that I use. I don't know if anybody else struggles during pregnancy with their gag reflexes, but I remember with my first pregnancy, I was taking prenatal pills with Lena when I was pregnant with Lena, and I was gagging every single time I took a prenatal pill, and they're huge. They are huge. I was gagging, my eyes were watering. I'd sometimes throw up the freaking pill, and it was just not productive. So I looked into prenatal gummies. I found prenatal gummies in my first pregnancy that I liked, but further in my pregnancy, they started tasting weird to me, and it was just like my food aversions. Like the taste, it was like a lemon flavor. The lemon flavor started making me gag. And then finally, right before I gave birth to Lena, I found one prenatal gummy that I did a whole bunch of research. People said a whole bunch of good things about. I found one, and I've been using it every pregnancy since then. So that one is this. It's the Nature's Bounty Essential Prenatal Gummies. I swear by these. If you guys like the fruit gummies, literally this is it. There's some nights where like I'll just take it and I'm just like, I actually want to eat like 10 more. But you just like take like 2 of these a day. The only thing about gummies, they don't have iron in them, so they recommend taking like a supplement, an iron supplement, to go with them, which is what I do. I'm actually out right now, so but we have to go to the store. I gotta get more iron supplements, but I swear by these. They're literally like, this is a new one, so I haven't opened it yet, but ooh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, there we go. All right, this is what they look like. You literally just take 2 of them. I'll just pop them in my mouth. I haven't taken them for the day yet, so they taste so good. They're a mixed berry flavor. They taste delicious. So if you've been having problems with your gag reflex, could not recommend it enough. Get yourself some prenatal gummies. They're so good. And then my next thing would be going back to stretch marks. Stretch marks, I don't use anything to prevent stretch marks, but I do use coconut oil to just keep my skin moisturized. And I usually will apply coconut oil right after the shower, or like right after, or just whenever like my stomach is feeling dry and I'm like, I just want to like moisturize it, you know, because I feel like there's a lot of times where your skin is stretching, it gets dry, you itch it, it's just not fun. It's not comfortable, not fun. So I have just like a huge jar of like organic virgin coconut oil that you could literally get a huge thing like off of Amazon, Walmart, Target, anywhere. But I just have this. This thing has lasted me since Lena. This whole thing. I'm towards the bottom right now, but I swear by it. It just, I love coconut oil. I literally lather it all over my body. But this is what I use just to keep my skin moisturized, my stomach moisturized during those like stretching periods. What else do I use? Pregnancy pillow. So I currently don't have a pregnancy pillow, and I know that some people just like will wedge a whole bunch of pillows just between their legs and stuff like that. I have one. We don't have enough pillows for me to do that. 1, 2, Eden and Lena both took the pillows that I was using. So Lena originally, when she started using a pillow to go to sleep, I gave her my pillow because I was pregnant with Eden, and I was just like, okay, like, go ahead, I'm using a pregnancy pillow as a pillow, so like, don't worry about it. And then Eden started using a pillow, and he took the pillow that I was currently using. And then we had bought him a pillow. We had bought him a pillow that I saw on Amazon that had great reviews, but he liked my pillow more. So I'm currently sleeping with, let me show you guys. I'm currently sleeping with the toddler pillow. This is not the size of a regular pillow. I don't know if you can tell, but this is literally, it's literally like a small pillow that I sleep with. So on the topic of pillows, we don't have enough pillows necessarily for me to just like shove around my body, but I have been using, so I had a pregnancy pillow, and before I found out I was pregnant, I had offered it to a family member that was pregnant. And so I didn't want to take back my offer, even though like she was like, no, like, you're pregnant, you need it. I was just like, it's fine. She was further along, so I offered, and I was just like, yeah, take it. So I've been using like this rocking chair. It came with like a little wedge pillow, and I've literally just been like wedging it like under my stomach and like between my legs at night, and it's been working decent. I mean, it didn't work last night, which makes me think that maybe it won't be as efficient as in later pregnancy as it has been earlier pregnancy, but I don't know, we'll just see. I mean, if I get uncomfortable enough, maybe I'll just like take pillows off the couch, or I'll order another pregnancy pillow, or actually order myself a pillow. I don't know, but that is our pillow situation. Another thing is, oh yeah, I just realized I mentioned heating pad. Pete overheated our heating pad in the microwave, so I have to make a mental note to order a new one. We had one, Pete was heating it up for me in the microwave like during my postpartum stage with Ezzy, and he heated it up for too long, and like we opened the microwave, it was like the stuff had like popped out of the pillow, and or like out of the heating pad. The stuff had like popped out of the heating pad, and it was like smoking. So mental note, invest in a new heating pad before I actually need it, because I know it's coming soon. I know it's gonna come soon, and I'm gonna really need one. So I gotta invest in that again. But heating pads are like awesome for sciatica, like sciatic pain, and then I know that I used it with my pelvic pain just to like ease like my muscles and everything. I'm pretty sure I just heard Ezzy. He's sleeping in the other room, but the door is open. I wanted to hear him. I think I woke him up. Anyways, last but not least, there is an app that I use. I've used it since I was pregnant with Lena. It's called the Baby Center app, and I found it extremely helpful during my pregnancy with Lena. I was learning, as a first-time mom, I was learning everything that I didn't even know that I needed to learn about, like cradle cap, like when the baby's born, or like Braxton Hicks, just a whole bunch of things. I found the baby app, or the Baby Center app, so like helpful and useful for my first pregnancy, and I've continued to use it for all my pregnancies, because you can join like a birth club, I think it's called, and it's like everybody that is due in the same month that you're due, and you can just post to like a forum and ask questions. It's a really great app to have as a mother, and I've appreciated it. I've used it for all 4 of my pregnancies now, and it's just something that I like. Oh, and it comes with like, that's how I know the size, the weight, symptoms. It just has a whole bunch of features which I'd recommend to any first-time mom, or any just like mom in general. It's extremely useful during pregnancy and during like those first few months or like even like first year of the baby's life, because like I said, it's like a forum, so it's just a whole bunch of moms that can like post and ask questions and relate to each other. It's a really nice community, so I would recommend that. That is something that I am also using this pregnancy, just to keep track of how many weeks I am, the baby's size, and if I have any questions. I think that pretty much concludes my update. I feel like I've been ranting. I could honestly talk about pregnancy all day long. It is very close to my heart. It is something that has literally been a part of me, for a part of my life for like the past 4 years. So that is why I'm doing this video without Pete, because I know that I would just be like talking, and he'd just be like, So that is my rant. That is my 20-week update. It's so exciting to this point in my pregnancy that, you know, we only have 20 more weeks to go, less than 20 weeks to go, and it's just each day, each week is just getting closer to meeting baby number 4. I'm very optimistic about this pregnancy since Pete is home with me. He's gonna be able to help me with like the kids if I do have severe pelvic pain this time. So I'm healthy, baby's healthy, and we're just a day closer to meeting him or her. So with that said, thank you for watching my little rant. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe if you would like to hear more about our 4th pregnancy journey, baby number 4. And that is it.